Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm doing what if Deku had the power of all 6 Infinity Stones. Like always, make sure you got your headphones for the optimal experience, and in my opinion, the best way to listen to a what if. Because if I am to listen to a what if, it's gonna be late at night, I got my headphones on, I'm all cozied up in bed, got my covers. So that's my favorite way of listening to what ifs. So make sure you guys are relaxed and, well, cue the intro.
I feel the rain crashing down all around this empty town. I'm searching for the lost and found, but you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there. It's in the air like a blazing flare. Just stare 'cause the flames will burn us.
Hey guys, welcome back from the intro. Like always, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe, and you know what I'm gonna say. United States of smash the bell icon to be notified when I post a new video. So yeah, let's go ahead and get on with the video. So we're going to start at the beginning of time. The Big Bang just happened, and with it, it created 6 elemental Infinity Stones. Space, soul, power, time, reality, and I think I got one wrong. Actually, this one's mind, so wait. Yeah, this one's mind, I'm pretty sure. Alright. So, one day, a doctor, like the smartest man in the galaxy, has learned about the Infinity Stones. And he is intrigued about them. He wants to know where they came from. And he wants to bend them to his will. So he finds the Power Stone and tries to pick it up because it was on an exhibition site deep inside of a planet. And he tried to pick it up, and he screams out in pain as he drops it, as his hand starts to decay, as he loses his hand from touching the Infinity Stone. This just intrigues him even more. So he makes something that is able to contain and transfer the Infinity Stones. So he collects all 6 Infinity Stones. And he wants to create something with it. A weapon of unimaginable power. He learns of the Celestials, but he thinks he can become a god beyond the Celestials, beyond Zeus. He believes he can be a bender, the bender of reality itself. He'll be able to create another Big Bang with this power. So he decides to try and fuse the Infinity Stones together to create a weapon of unimaginable power. And it works. It creates a being of unnatural raw potential. He fuses the Infinity Stones together as they melt into one. An explosion that can be heard across the galaxy. Shakes the very core of each planet. Everyone in the room that was watching the Doctor bend reality is killed as the Doctor looks at what he has created. He created a baby. He doesn't know what happened, but he won't survive it. As he drops to the ground, dead. As the baby just sits there crying. Till one of the only survivors on the planet finds the baby and puts him in an escape pod, not knowing that this baby is what just created the DEFCON 4 for the planet. Like, he destroyed an entire race. He doesn't know this baby is what caused it. He puts the baby on a rocket, or on an escape pod, and launches him off planet. Then he gets caught up in his very own explosion he created. As a nearby planet explodes, launching Deku off course, sending him to a planet known as Earth. He hits a nearby field as a family, or a woman and a husband were driving by. They see a meteor, or what they think is a meteor, hit the road in front of them. The husband slams on the brakes as the ground nearby starts to corrode with a weird purple thing. It's starting to corrode the ground beneath them. They get out to see a pod by the looks of it. They don't know what it is, but it has inscriptions on it that they don't even know what it is. Like, they don't know. But inside of it is young Izuku Infinity. Because he doesn't get the name Midoriya till they adopt him, so his original name that the Doctor gave him is Izuku Infinity. Or Infinity Izuku. Infinity Izuku. Wow, that's actually a really good name. Infinity Izuku. Ooh, I think we just got a hero name. So yeah. They see the child and immediately break open the pod and grab the child and get in the car and drive away. They think about calling the police, but they would never believe them. They'd put him in a psychiatric hospital. No one would believe them. As police drive by them, along with fire trucks, as they hear a large chemical explosion. It just so happens that where Deku landed was right next to a chemical pipe, and it caused the pipe to burst. And, well, the purple corrosive that they saw lit a fire, causing an explosion in the pipes. So they drive off, and eventually they get to their house. And they start thinking of what to do. Whether they should keep the kid as their own, give him to the police, put him up for adoption, or just flat out kill him. They don't know what to do. Inko wants to keep him and raise him. But as for the father, he wants to put him down. Because they don't know what kind of power he has. Or even if this is some kind of ploy to capture a planet. So they decide to keep him till he is 14. And then he'd be let off on his own. If he has a power. Like, as they don't know if, he's an alien race that has, like Superman. Like, he's that kind of race. Like, he has, unrivaled power. So they don't know that. I mean, it'd turn out to be true, but they don't know. So, they take Deku in, and Deku is raised to be a gentleman. But Deku doesn't really follow that path. Deku is his own book. He doesn't, well, the Infinity Stones, I think, have their own personalities. So, just imagine each personality from each Infinity Stone put together. That's what I think Deku's personality is. Sorry. Man. So yeah. He would be a gentleman. But if someone gets on his nerves, he won't be afraid to put his hands up and fight. He won't be afraid. And then, he just has a serious side to him. You never really see him smile, but on the inside he's just a cuddly bear. Kind of like The Rock. The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He has, he can be, have a very serious face, but he's just a teddy bear on the inside. That's, what Deku's like. But Deku has an insane love for heroes. He doesn't know why, but he just loves them. I mean, he would literally work for days on end to get enough money to buy American superhero movies and get all kinds of superhero movies. But his favorite is Avengers Endgame. That is his favorite movie of all time. He just doesn't know why. It just feels so real to him. And he just can't put his finger on why it's so cool to him. So, when Deku is finally 4 years old, he's ready to go to the Quirk Doctor. He is ready. So when they get to the Quirk Doctor, Deku is devastated. He learns that he does not have a quirk. But something on that day snaps. A red aura appears around him, as the room is engulfed with that red aura. As the Quirk Doctor finds himself in a room filled with quirkless people. No, he's filled in a room with All Might. There's hundreds of All Mights everywhere. And then Deku walks up to him and says, I want to be like him. As the Quirk Doctor's in a room filled with mirrors. As he looks in the mirror, he sees that he's now Deku. And then it's and then he sees an outline of a person above him. And it looks like All Might's outline. And then he's all of a sudden in the middle of a sea. And Deku's behind him. He turns around and asks what's going on and where he is. And Deku says, reality is what I want it to be. The doctor is kind of shocked because he doesn't have a quirk. He shouldn't be able to do anything. And then the doctor finds himself trapped inside of a conveyor belt. And he's about to be crushed. As he's screaming and screaming, he finds himself back in his doctor's office. He immediately kicks Deku and Inko out as he locks the door and grabs a gun out of his drawer. And he points it at his chin. And the doctor was so overwhelmed he took his own life. Deku walks out with a smirk on his face as he whispers, "Never say that to a god." Inko thought she heard Deku say something, but she didn't pay much mind to it. So one day, Deku's dad learned about what happened to the doctor, and thinks it has something to do with Deku. He has no proof, but there's just something that's telling him Deku is evil. So he grabs a gun as he walks into the living room and hides it behind his back. As Deku asks, "Hey Dad, do you want to watch Avengers Infinity War with me? It's a really cool movie." As Deku's big smile turns to a very sad look as he looks at his father and says, "You want to kill me? Why? Why?" Deku's dad wonders how he knew that he was going to kill him, but he doesn't care. He pulls the gun out and points it at Deku's head. As Deku says, "Pull the trigger, Dad. I know you can't do it. You don't have the..." As Deku's lifeless body falls to the ground. As the room turns to flames, and Deku is standing by the door. As Deku says, "Why, Dad? I thought you loved me." As Deku's dad looks around to see the entire house in flames, he says, "What have you done? Inko!" Deku says, "Don't worry. Inko's at work. She entrusted you to take care of me, but you caused a house fire, and you died inside of it after taking your own life." And Deku's dad says, "What? Come here, you little..." As a bullet goes straight through his head, and he drops to the ground, lifeless. As Deku runs out crying, the fire engines arrive, and Deku's just speechless. They try to get inside, but the door is locked, and the house ends up burning to the ground. Deku doesn't even remember what happened. He's just really sad that his father died. So, A couple years later, Inko found out what really happened to her husband. And she doesn't know what to do. So she decides to fix everything that's happened. Deku so far has used his powers for bad, and she wants to fix that. So she begins to train Deku. She knows it's risky, and she knows she could possibly lose her life if one of Deku's unique personalities come into the playing field. So she starts to train Deku. She doesn't exactly know how, but she trains Deku in the way she knows how. With normal, conventional training. Lifting weights, going down to the river, getting water, and then putting it on your back and running up the hill. Running, boxing, the traditional type of training. She would train Deku nonstop. And then Deku started to learn how to control his powers through this training. So he'd sit by the water and meditate. And then he'd use the reality stone to fill the bucket with water and then send basically a decoy of himself up the hill and then drop the water buckets down. And then he learned how to use the time stone to... Well, one time he made friends with a bird. He'd always, when he goes to meditate, a bird would land on his shoulder. Well, one day he found that bird dead. He just wished for it to come back. He put his hand over it and says, "Wish that she would be alive right now." And time started to backpedal to the point where the bird was just a little birdie, like just a small little bird. And then he learned how to use the Mind Stone. So one day he asked what he was going to get for Christmas. And she said, "Well, I can't tell you." And Deku learned how to, read her mind using the Mind Stone. He would say in his mind, "Tell me, tell me, tell me." And then he'd use the Mind Stone to read what her mind is saying. And then he says, "You got me the brand new All Might action figure? Oh, I can't wait to play with it." Inko would be super surprised on how he knew. But she wouldn't pay much mind to it. And then he used the Space Stone to get to school. Then the Power Stone is the one he had the most trouble controlling. But one day, he gets jumped by thugs. And so right now, Deku is about 10 years old. Right now. And they tell Deku to give him his money. And Deku says, "No. How about you shut up?" And the thug gets really angry by this and attempts to attack Deku. But Deku uses the reality stone. And the guy punches Deku, knocking Deku out. Then Deku appears behind him, and a purple aura appears around his fist as he clenches his fist and says, "Detroit! Smash!" as he punches the thug in the jaw, knocking the sludge villain into a wall, knocking him out. The other thug runs at Deku, but Deku says, "No," as he opens his hand to unleash the full power of the Power Stone. As the man is engulfed in purple flames, as it starts to surround him, and he starts to decay, as his skin flakes off, and his eyes turn into purple molten lava. And he drops on the ground screaming in agony, as Deku says, "This is the true power of God." As the man disappears, turns straight to dust. As Deku screams as he realizes that the thugs have just been killed, as he runs away. So, that was just one of Deku's alternate personalities. As I'm going to say, Deku has that disorder where you have different personalities. Well, in this case, he has the personalities of each Infinity Stone. With power, you have, like, pure anger. And mind, you're just always purely calm. Reality, what should reality's personality be? I don't know, but the personality you just saw was the Power Stone's personality. They will show themselves in dire situations. Well, in power situation, in situations where he needs that direct power, if you get what I'm saying. So, Deku heads to school, and it's the last day of school. And the teacher says, "Well, kids, it's time to learn what you guys are going to do with your lives." As he throws the papers up in the air and says, "Who cares? I know you all want to be heroes." And everyone starts using their quirks. But then Deku uses the Time Stone to rewind everybody to when they didn't use their quirks. As the teacher walks out, Bakugo says, "None of y'all better not be in my class, as all of you are B-listers, and I couldn't care less about you." As Deku says, "You know, Kachan, you really are annoying sometimes. I just want to relax. But your blurt of a mouth is really getting annoying. So, do you think you can be quiet so I can meditate?" Bakugo says, "What are you gonna do about Corkless? You better get back." And Deku says, "Just know you asked for it," as he uses the Space Stone to teleport Bakugo to an island off the coast of Hawaii, far away from Japan. As he walks out, everybody's wondering what happened, because Deku's Corkless. He shouldn't have been able to do anything. Did someone in the room teleport Deku or him away? What's happening? What happened? So Deku's walking home, and he decides to take a shortcut. when the sludge villain appears. And he says, "Ugh, that dang All Might. About time I got away. I need to find a hostage. Huh, there's one right there. Thank goodness today's my lucky day. Alright, kid, you're gonna give me your body or you're gonna give me your body." As he charges at Deku, and he grabs Deku and starts invading his body. Deku had no time to think. Or did he? Deku used the reality stone to make the sludge villain think that he had Deku. But Deku actually knew the sludge villain was coming. So then Deku uses the power stone and says, "Detroit Smash!" as he punches the sludge villain. And the sludge villain says, "What? All Might found me? No, this is way stronger." As the sludge villain's eyes are burned straight out of their sockets, as purple flames are just sprouting out of where his eyes were, as his mouth opens up to show lots of fire, as he literally breathes fire, as Deku says, "Be gone." As he opens his hand and unleashes the full power of the Power Stone, as the sludge villain is engulfed in the purple flames of true power. Then Deku walks away, victorious. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where I'm going to leave this episode off here. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you guys hit the like button and subscribe. And while you're at it, United States of Smash the bell icon to be notified when I post a new video. And remember, 1 subscriber equals 1 step closer to that pie in the face. So don't forget.